I began tucking him into bed when he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement and see another him under the bed staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." I always thought my cat had a staring problem since she always seemed fixated on my face, until one day I realized that she was always looking just behind me. I was having a pleasant dream when what sounded like hammering woke me. After that, I could barely hear the muffled sound of dirt covering the coffin over my own screams. I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first I thought it was the window, until I heard it come from the mirror again. There is a picture on my phone of me sleeping. I live alone. I have a message for the woman who keeps pounding on my door at night. I'm not letting you out. Now that I think about it with a new perspective, everything's fine and my problems really can't be fixed. If only I hadn't jumped. My daughter won't stop crying and screaming in the middle of the night. I visit her grave and ask her to stop, but it doesn't help. I reached out of the shower to grab a towel, but someone handed it to me. I live alone. Seeing Mom smiling at us through the kitchen window was beautiful, even though we were coming back from her funeral. At first, I liked that my scarecrow actually hunted crows. However, now it's hunting bigger prey. My parents tell me it's not my fault that my baby sister choked and died after swallowing some Legos. I told her they were candies. My college class and I took an off-the-grid, low-key expedition with our professor in the Amazon. I guess he forgot it was about to be flood season. She never took good care of her skin. For her sake, I had to remove it. When Yellowstone finally erupted, there was a huge debate about whether or not this would mark the extinction of mankind. The debate ended when a gigantic demon began climbing out. When the kidnapper made me guess where he kept my daughter, I went for the basement and he said correct, allowing me to see her. But when I found her severed head in there, I learned that every other choice would have been correct as well. I told her there was no monster in her closet. As I picked her up and told her that she could sleep with us tonight, I figured that was the safest way of getting out of the house without the man realizing that I saw him. All my life, my parents told me not to open the basement door, but I got curious and disobeyed them. What is that glowing ball of light in the sky? And why does it hurt my eyes? My Uncle Henry had said for years that we all have skeletons in our closets. I came to find out that his were real. Jill loved the eyes of her ex-boyfriend Brian. Now she keeps them on her nightstand next to her bed. Sometimes my wife yells at me. The problem is she's been dead for 10 years and she's back for revenge. I used to tell my ex-girlfriend that she had bad taste. Tonight's meal was confirmation that I was right about her. After noticing an ingrown hair on my cheek, I tugged at it with tweezers to try and pull it out. I had almost gotten it when it suddenly twitched and crawled deeper beneath my skin. My son peeked around the corner and I saw him crying and shaking. I looked down to see he's asleep in my arms. My husband was so upset that we lost our little girl 2 days ago. I'm just glad that he didn't ask me where I got the meat for our stew from. I've often speculated that if aliens came to Earth, it would be to gather resources they depleted on their own planet. What I failed to consider was that we were the resource they were here to harvest. I was terrified when I saw the old man looking through the window straight at me. This was the first time I saw someone do that, but if it's only the old couple, this is going to be easy. When the tsunamis hit, most people were evacuated. Feeling the trickle of water rise to my chin, I let go of the prison bars in bitter resentment. I was born blind, but was lucky enough to have a loving mother who took care of my every need. You can imagine the betrayal I felt when one day a stitch came out and light hit my eye for the first time. I frantically ran to the checkout counter to pick up my son who had gotten lost in the store. I was overwhelmed with grief when the guy working there said, "Nice try, sir, his father already picked him up." "Well," the doctor said, "the tests are negative, so you are not pregnant. And to be honest, I have no idea what that thing inside your body is."